to really say, but over the years, their actions are beginning to make them look like they are a tool in the hands of politicians. Like they go after some persons, they go after a group of persons and ignore the people that they ought to be after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so over the years, we've heard our leaders say they want to fight corruption, they are going to fight corruption and make you pay for it. They're not serious. That's just it. We have never been serious about fighting corruption because if our leaders are serious about fighting corruption, if they really want to be transparent, they have to start with their own cabinet. They have to start cleaning their own cabinet before talking about fighting corruption and going after people who are into money laundering and crimes. They have to start with their appointees, start with those that they're working with. And I know it's going to be difficult because they wouldn't want to wash their dirty millions outside.
Yeah.
So fighting corruption, the EFCC, they're just not ready. When they're ready to work, they will do the right thing. That's just
Okay, thank you very much for that opinion. The next on the trend is hashtag GT Bank. So last week it was Zenny Bank, and this week GT has taken over.
okay.
So GT Bank is trending because their users are still unable to complete transactions. But that's not the new complaint. Apparently, GT is crediting people randomly and taking back the funds without giving owners access. They credited one of their users 1.5 million naira from
His
nowhere.
own money?
No, not his own money. From nowhere, and immediately they reversed the money back. So these people were like, why are you sending me money and then I don't know where the source is coming from? But no, they had technical issues. Started with technical issues, and then they started crediting random users money just like that. So people got frustrated. It affect businesses. So I'm going to read some of the tweets and then hear your opinions about it. Someone said, I'm stranded because my money is in GT Bank. And these people won't even let you withdraw your money out unless it's to another GT account. My plans of today is totally ruined. No accountability from anyone. I hate this country so much. Someone also said, so apparently GT Bank claimed their transaction is a success, yet we cannot access the mobile app, and you can only do GTB to GTB transactions in the banking hall. So I'll take one before hearing your comments. This nonsense just confirms my decision to close my account. GT Bank holds my salary account. When funds are paid, my money is often held for days before it's been credited. Gaga, let me hear what you have to say about this.
Okay, so GT Bank, incidentally, I happen to bank with them, and
Okay.
they begin me updates. I've been trying to look for one update that they gave to me on my mail, and so I can read it and tell. But apparently, were trying to um, transition. So they sent me this message 7 days ago, 11th of October, and they said, we'd like to inform you that all our branches nationwide will close to customers early on Friday, October 11th, as we begin the transition to a new and robust suite of Pinnacle core banking application system. So that was on Friday. They said they'll start that. So fast forward to Monday this week, October 14th, I received another mail, and they said, we have successfully transitioned. All our branches are now open, and they informed us they successfully transitioned to a new and robust suite of Pinnacle core banking application and yada yada. So they said they've successfully transitioned, but apparently by their operations, it was not a successful one. We can't say that yet because through my mobile app, at the time I accessed my mobile app and I realized that my transaction history was clear. So what happened? I think because of the transition, so everything
Yeah.
was, some things were lost in the process. And what happened to me was something, it was slightly different. Not like, so the transaction history I had was my balance was just sent to me like a credit alert.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I just received the money. So my previous transaction left. So for example, I had 100,000 in my account and they just sent me 100,000 credits. So that was the only transaction. Then I started making this thing. They'll tell me successful. It was on Thursday here. I was talking to somebody because I did a transaction, sent the person the receipt. And the person, so when the person saw the receipt, because I was not with the person, when I did it, I was not with the person was like, you sent me money. I was like, I'm just seeing it. I've not received the alert. I'm like, oh, I told you, So the person saw the receipt and realized I sent them money, and the person was like, I'm even here to receive a lot. This morning, I sent someone a message because that they did a couple of times. I sent someone a message. They said, have you seen the money I sent you about 2 days ago? The person said no. Even trying to credit airtime. Yesterday I was at the ATM, I was trying to pull out my funds. I was like, I was there. And it's not only GTB. It's not only GTB.
Zenith Bank had that same issue, but theirs was not as bad compared to GT Bank.
So it's terrible. So what happens now is that, because GTB is one of my go-to banks, one of the things I do now is that I have another, all this online banking thing. So once I see a window, I just transfer money there. Because yesterday I was stranded at the ATM because I was trying to pull out money. So what I do, I transfer them, then I use the app, thank God for POS. I use the other online banking system to get funds. So that's what I do. So that's why sometimes it's encouraged that sometimes okay, let me say that someone post me that it's when I was watching it like I said, so I did it.
Well, I know how frustrating it can be.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I've not had that experience because I don't bank with those banks you just mentioned. But it's so sad. I think our banking system in Nigeria, they need to do, our banking sector, they need to do better. It's painful that you have money, but you can't access your money, and then you're stranded, and then you have to start explaining to people, I'm so sorry, this is what's happening. You know, I can't even imagine being in that situation. So our banking sectors have to do better. They really have to do better. I don't know if there's anything they can do, but I just know that somehow they should be able to sit down together and think of ways that, you know, if they want to do an upgrade or something is wrong, they can resolve the issue without putting Nigeria through such pain. It's really sad.
Another advice I like to give is that I know that most people, especially in this era, they don't have one account. Please, if you have one account, try to have at least 2-3 accounts. It helps. And this is what I do. When I have my multiple accounts, I always try that at least my account is funded. This is looking at me. No. Now somebody might be saying that how much do I have that I want to spend?
Exactly. Are you not someone that has so much money that would, you know, split the funds into different accounts?
Okay, so start small. So
Haven't you?
Wait, so this is what I mean.
Have you experienced this thing that happens? That sometimes you have money in your account and you're like, let me send it to the other account. Let me save it to your savings.
Save it.
And then
exactly.
a few minutes later, you go back to collect the money because you don't have enough money to.
You will come and be taking lectures, but because I'm dropping wisdom. So you should also have an account that you should not be able to access with ATM or mobile app.
That's if you have so much money in your account.
So, like I was saying, no matter how much you have, like you can split 5, 10, 20, 50. Like if you have 3 accounts, if it's 50,000 you open have, you can do 20, 20, 10. So this is what happens.
Sorry to cut you. What if the money you want to withdraw is beyond what is in the account?
Beyond
Sorry, it's
like,
less of what is in the account.
That 50k, that's last 50k you have in your
I don't
account.
know how
You
you
need
put
it.
it, but that's why
Will I start
it goes
going
with budgeting.
Will I start going to different banks to down
To go and
bring
start
20,
doing
you have
30?
ATM, so it goes to budgeting. So why I say this, for example, I walk into the supermarket and I got some stuff, and let's say what I got is worth 20,000 naira, and I give you my ATM, and I'm having network issues. I will not stand there. I'll look for another thing.
Okay, well, you're a big man. You're a rich man.
So because I hate that thing of please can you help me send money to this thing? I hate it.
Okay, you're not talking as a typical Nigerian.
I'm telling
Like
you.
people are really suffering and
You
they
don't have money to split into different
accounts.
accounts. But
your suggestion is valid.
yes,
I mean,
it's
people
what
need
Rebecca
to learn
said is
that.
right. And for me, I don't trust these online banks. You know, these different
Me too. I
or
have
mini
it.
bank
and the
and the rest. I don't really
Okay.
trust them. But over the years, they've proved to be more efficient than
even
the main.
That's why I helped myself when I was starting to go there.
Yeah.
If you have an online bank, honestly, there's a certain limit you should be putting there. Like someone like me, I don't think my online is in a part.
I don't think Nigerians will listen to you now.
more than 20.
I don't think Nigerians will listen to you now because, like I said, these online banks have proven they've proved to be more efficient than our main banking
like what somebody
sector.
will say, you're keeping money with bank that does not have office. If your money go, you won't go.
But they've been more efficient. So just Ogaga, what you really said is wise. If you have such funds and want to split into different accounts, that's good. But I remember I had 2 bank accounts. I got angry and I closed down one. One of the banks is one of the banks you mentioned. I don't recall their name because of what played out. So I'm just sticking to one. And hopefully, whenever blesses
Just
me,
one account.
Okay.
I'll split into different
Please
accounts.
let's move on to the next trend. The next one is hashtag PDOM. This is short. So, breaking news that Isaac Bristol guy isn't the real PDOM. Please beware of imposter. The real PDOM is an underground chained cell. So, PDOM, quote unquote, came out of prison and did a video saying that he's back. Nigerians should see that he's back, and this time around he wants to come and do some investigations and all of that. So he started tweeting, but Nigerians, Twitter fans who have been following him up for a long time, noticed the tweets and they were like, "This is not Pidom." And says, "Pidom, this is not his style. Pidom has not really come out to. We have not seen Pidom's face before. So why is he coming out to? Why is he bringing his face on social media?" So people are saying that the government have probably done something to Pidom, yeah, and probably brought someone else to just replace them. So Nigerians are saying they know more than this. So let me read some of the tweets and I'll hear your opinion. Someone said, "Where is Pidom? I hope we are all seeing this. I said it before and I'll say it again. Pablo will create his brand of activists and allow us to hype them since we love modern day Robin Hood, who speak out." Someone also said, "I don't know how people came to believe that the person the government claimed was Pidom is actually Pidom." So please let me hear your opinions.
Well,
about
I
this.
can't really say he's not the one because I do not know him. Like you said, my friends don't know him. He hasn't come out to show his face before. So I can't say for sure that this person is not him or this person is him. But I'm saddened about how things are done in the country, how investigative journalists are being treated in the country. The security agencies can just go pick up an investigative journalist, and we don't hear anything about, what was done to him, investigations that was done, and the offense he committed, why he was arrested to even start with, and we don't hear anything about it, and it's really disturbing. I don't know if these investigative journalists, if they don't have lawyers, but I'm sure that Pidom had a lawyer that came out once upon a time to speak up. He had, I think there was a period where his lawyer came out to talk about how he was treated, and Pidom was talking about him receiving there was an attempt to kill him in cell. Yes, I remember there was a period where those allegations were made. So I feel that our security agencies should do better. I always say this, that security agents should know that citizens are fighting for their rights. They are security agencies. They can't come out to really speak about the evils or the crime that their political office holders have committed. And when they find the investigative journalists that are out there doing their job, unearthing things that are going wrong in society, the security agents should not let themselves be used as a tool by these big shots in the country to harass, to intimidate, to arrest investigative journalists. I now, in where we are, a democratic setting, I expected that things like this should have ended. Harassment and intimidation and brutality of journalists should have.
I'll take mine from a different angle. It just shows the state of the nation when you see that. Have you realized that citizens are very quick to doubt or suspect or hold the government culpable for some kind of things? Like this kind of situation now, citizens are saying, "Are we sure it's not the government that's trying to drive a narrative?" So, like, that's this level that the government has brought itself to.
Yeah.
That when there is something, I'm not saying that they are guilty or not guilty of this, but I'm just saying that when situations like this happen, citizens are very suspicious. Like, are we sure the government, they don't have something up their sleeves right now? So, I think the government itself they have to build their character yet again. They have to try to win
I don't
the
see them
trust
being
of
interested
the
in
Nigerian
building the
people.
characters.
That's going to take a lot of years.
and they have to
Because
find
even
a
when they
way.
arrest an investigative journalist, Nigerians are scared for that person
Yeah.
because
Yes.
they can't tell what will happen. Even if they arrest, let's not even talk about investigative journalists. Once you're arrested in Nigeria, once they take you to a police station in Nigeria, you become scared because you just cannot tell what will happen. Anything can happen and nothing will be said.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the government. Even the police, the security agencies, they have to build their image because they tarnished it.
The security agencies, they're part of the government, they're part of the executive. So it's terrible. So I just hope that a day will come that Nigerians will be proud of their country and will be proud of their leaders and we trust their leaders yet again.
I hope so too. So we are moving to the last minor trend. Hashtag Orile Igomu. Orile Igomu is trending because the two-story building collapsed in the area in the morning around 8:45 a.m. 2 days ago, and it was caught live on camera. No one was hurt, as all its occupants were earlier advised to evacuate because the building was distressed and inhabitable. So I would like us to watch a clip of it, and then I'll read some of the tweets and hear your opinions about it. Okay, so let me read some of the tweets. Looking at this structure, I can categorically tell you it was all built during the era of Nnamdi Azikiwe. This is scary. It's obvious the house is weak. Look how light and slim the blocks are looking. Please always be cautious of the environment you're in. Someone also said all these developers' houses that they won't use good materials to build. All these developing houses that they won't use good materials to build to last long because of profit. I would have loved us to watch the video, but in absence of that, I feel like this, whatever happened, as long as the government or whoever it was in charge told them that, okay, this is the video.
That house is really old.
Really old.
No, I understand that particular tweet that said it was built during
During
the
the time
era
of
of
Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Nnamdi Azikiwe. It's really, really old. But why did they wait for, if they had given notice to people to evacuate the building, why did they wait for the building to collapse? Because you can see people around
the area,
people running away. So
Yeah.
what if the building collapsed and it hurt people around that area? They shouldn't have waited for the building to collapse. They should have, started demolishing it before,
I feel like the information was not given to them on time.
What?
I feel so because they were supposed to have demolished it
Exactly.
before. It's like they should do something about it so that Nigerians can actually leave the premises. You cannot just say, oh,
No. It's not possible to tell people to leave the premises,
yeah,
right? There are people around. You can
Yeah.
see a tricycle.
okay.
That's a street. People will walk past it.
Yeah.
People will not be inside the
Inside
building,
the
but they'll
building.
be around that area. That's what I'm saying is they shouldn't have waited for the building to collapse. They should have demolished it so that it doesn't hurt people around there. For buildings, we've had since this year, just the way the national grid has been collapsing. That's the way we've been having building collapse in different states in Nigeria. But in Lagos State, it's like it's worse in Lagos State. So the Lagos State, the agency that's saddled with the responsibility of monitoring houses, especially houses that are just being built, they should do better. And then for people who are building their house, please don't try to cut costs and put people's lives and your life at risk, because sometimes when you build the house, you live in the house as well. Get an engineer, get the professionals to do the job, because most people, I know things are very expensive now. You want to cut costs and then you want to manage what you have, the materials you have to build a house. You have to think about the future. You have to think about years after what would happen to this building. And the agency that's starting the responsibility of going around to monitor buildings that are being built in Nigeria, they should really do better. We've not heard of contractors being arrested or contractors being corrected about how they are going about building plans in different states in Nigeria, but that should start happening because we've lost lives due to the building collapse. We had one happen here in Delta State. People died. Students died when building collapsed, and it was really sad. So we should do better, really.
Okay.
Since this morning, I've been saying we should do better. Different sectors, we should also sit up and do better.
Okay, I think that I would have said that we should learn from this, but we've had so many occurrences that we should have learned from. So talking about this particular building,
Yeah.
if persons were, the inhabitants were asked to move away, if it was not demolished immediately, the first thing that should have been done, I didn't see that, I don't know if they did, but with what happened there, apparently they didn't do it. The first thing that should have been done, the premises should have been cordoned off
Yeah.
and a few perimeters around that area, because you anticipate that this building can collapse in the nearest future. So till we start demolishing, the building and a couple of perimeters should be cordoned off so that people should not get very close to it like what we saw. It's just that fortunately nobody was hurt. But these are some of the things that should be put in place. And also we have I don't know, the agency now that will be in charge of that. It might be housing, it might be urban planning and all of that.
They have different names for different states.
So they should, once in a while, it's not just to mark buildings or to want to take tax and all of that. Move around. Just like the vehicle inspection officers. Inspect the houses. Anyone that is not worthy anymore being erect should be brought down. And approval as well, like what Blessing said. Approval. Before a building is approved, ensure that the adequate materials are used to build that thing. And the foundation, the stories that you are seeing should be the actual stories that were approved. Because we've seen situations where the foundation is set for 2 stories, and then when building commences, we're seeing 4 stories.
Yeah.
So that you make more money. And you approved just 2 stories. And envelopes, exchange, and all of that.
Alright, let's move on.
Yeah, so we're moving on to the major trend, hashtag Nigerian police. So this is a 2-in-1 trend.
Okay.
Police trended twice. So first of all, a Nigerian police officer reportedly raped a girl till she lost consciousness inside the police station in Edo State. Let's watch a video of the girl in a conscious state, and a lady, I perceive that lady to be another police officer videoing them in the police station. So let's quickly watch the video of that.
What I no go do am? Now you want put me for trouble, abi? Now you want put me for trouble. What I no go do am? Now you want put me for trouble, abi? Now you want put me for trouble.
Was videoing. So Blessing, I'll start with you. What do you have to say about that?
Really, really heartbreaking. Police station where police officers should be at a lot.
Yeah.
Police station where people should go to. They always tell you if you're traveling and you don't have anywhere to go to the nearest police station or to a barrack and stay. You'll be safe there. So a police station where the person should be safe, even if the person has committed a crime.
Yeah.
The person should be kept there until the person is charged to court, and the person is the court now gives a verdict, and then the person is taken to jail. It's so heartbreaking. We've had reports over and over. This is not the first time we've heard of a lady being raped in a police cell. What is wrong with these police officers? All I have to say is he should be punished. The video, I'm glad they were able to capture it, and it's obvious from the video that he committed a crime. The girl is unconscious. We can see him. He's half naked. So he should just be punished. I don't want to even talk much about it. It's so sad, really.
So, talking about punishment, excuse me, the police public relation officer, Benjamin Day,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
okay, has said that the police officer has been identified. But beyond the identification, we've seen that a couple of times. We want him to be punished. It's really, really terrible. Like you said, the moving head stories also reports, and reports also that some of these police officers, they raid sex workers and they take them to the cell and they are demanding sex from the sex worker. That's not wrong. That the person is a sex worker does not mean you arrested them for a so-called crime whatsoever based on the laws of the state and whatsoever. Allow them serve their term or get bailed or take them to court whatsoever is that. So this is very, very terrible and
Trust me, it
condemnable.
happens daily.
Also, it also begs that that's why we've been saying this is a call that has been done. Evaluation, like psychological evaluation, should be done. Like in every workplace, I think it's something that should be done annually. For you to know people that are okay. We've seen trigger police officers now. I've seen a police officer that's raping an inmate, so to say. It's terrible now. So we need to evaluate these people. Are these people sane?
Yes.
Like, are you, because I was going through on the internet. This police officer is married. He has a child. So what will you say? Like, you are married, you have a wife. So you should go and meet your wife.
And then you do it to the extent that you make
Meet her
Yes,
unconscious.
unconscious. So you can imagine what.
And the girl looks very young.
Very young. I don't think she's up to 20.
It's very terrible.
They should really punish him. They shouldn't just sweep this under the carpet. They shouldn't even just give him suspension. He should be taken out of the police force, but he's not fit to be a police
No,
officer.
I think that anybody that rapes anybody, I don't think the person is okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Really.
Because the truth is,
how do you-
because the first question I ask, is rape pleasurable?
That's why I'm glad you said the person is not okay.
Yes, that's why I
a
said it's
mental
not
issue.
okay. Because sex is meant to be pleasurable. So if you are raping the victim, I don't think it's pleasurable. So you are not okay.
So many persons
She
need
should
to
take
be
it out of the
checked
police
in
force, really.
Nigeria. There's so many persons need to be checked. So let's move on to the same Nigerian police trend. Nigerian police is trending because they chased a young man till he fell into a canal. Then they took his belongings and left him to die because he had a tattoo. Let us watch a short video clip of the man in the canal and somebody was trying to bring him out.
Àwọn ọlọ́pàá ló lè wá sínú kanáà o abẹ́ rescue ẹ̀ ni o wọ́n lè wọ́ sínú ibi iṣẹ́ wa láàárọ̀ yìí ni o ẹ dúró ojú ayé o ó lárí mọ́ àwọn ọlọ́pàá ló lè o wọ́n lè wọnú kanáà ni o ọmọ ọlọ́mọ wọ́n ti kó bàtà ẹ̀ lọ. dáàdì mo lè gbà wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́kàn yẹn wá wọ ń bọ̀ lẹ́gbà. àwọn ọlọ́pàá ló lé ọmọ yìí wọ bíbá yìí o. ò ní kú lágbára Ọlọ́run lágbára Ọlọ́run.
You see policemen coming, walking towards you, you become frightened. You're scared. You don't
Yeah.
know what will
next?
happen
Yeah.
next. And even if they say, okay, follow us to the police station, you don't want to go there because when you get there, your rights being trampled on. You're not allowed to speak to your lawyer as it should be.
Yeah.
And then if you don't commit an offense, you're not supposed to pay bail. But once you get into the police station, you must pay bail before you leave the police station.
Bail is free, oh, don't you see?
It's not.
It's not free.
So see, this is like Ogara said. Our police has to evaluate their officers, and the police has to do yearly evaluation of their officers. Really, it's really sad to see what's happening. I witnessed such an incident happen in Asaba here, where two young guys were just walking on the streets. Though it was not the police, but this, I don't know what to call them now, this security agencies that put on black
Oh,
also.
okay.
So they just approached these two young men and started forcing them into the car. So people around were like, people were scared. And that's another thing. I think Nigerians should begin to ask questions, especially for police officers. But the thing is, people are scared because, like Ogara said, we have trigger happy police officers that could just open their guns and shoot at people. So people were asking questions. Do you know why? Do you know the excuse they gave for arresting those young guys? Not really arresting, pushing them into the car, taking them away. They said their mouth was smelling like they just took drugs.
What?
So they were walking on the street. It happened here in Asaba. They were walking on the street. You came down from your car, walked towards them, and started pushing them into your car because their mouth was smelling like they took drugs.
Like from your car, how do you know that you're about to?
So when we talk about kidnappers, we should really start looking at the police. We should start looking at them and their activities. So if the police IGP is serious about making sure that the force regains their lost glory
Yeah.
and build their reputation again, they should start looking at their officers. This is sad. I am certain that that young man did not do anything wrong.
Yeah, they
For
said
them to have
they-
chased
they
him that way.
pursued- Yeah.
You chased him, he fell into that canal, he died, you took his belongings and you left.
That's so sad. They said he
Please, they were
perceived
after the
he is-
belongings in the first
he
place.
is a Yahoo boy.
Because
You
if,
don't
if,
just
if he
judge like
committed a
that.
crime
Yeah.
and they were chasing him to arrest him, if when he jumped into that canal and he died, they would have taken his body from
Yes,
there,
from
that place,
there.
taken him to the police station, make a statement,
Yes.
call the family members to come and take his body.
Yeah.
So I'm certain that man did not commit any crime.
So
Yeah.
that's the sad situation in Nigeria. So sometimes when you just ponder on what happens in the country, like I was saying Blessing earlier, it's very depressing, really. So in a developed nation, a civilized nation, do you know what they do? If you even commit a crime and the police bumps into you and you want to take your life, they will save you. That's what they do. You are guilty of a crime, and you want to take your life, they will save you, they will carry you because you're not even supposed to take your life. So now this is you now chasing, you are chasing a person and the person falls into a canal. As a police officer, the first thing that comes to your mind is to save life.
Save that person. Yeah.
And they left the person. I think if that's what actually played out, the police officers that were involved in that chase should be brought to book. They should be arrested. But it's just that
Who
the
would
justice
identify
system.
them? Who would
And
identify
they were not
them?
even on uniform. They were on mufti.
Oh, goodness.
They were
So
on
how
mufti.
will I know? And you know, it's still in the same Nigeria. A police officer will stop you. Do you know that as a citizen, you have the right to ask a police officer, especially if they are not wearing their tag,
Yeah.
to show you their ID?
But you dare not.
You
They would
don't say,
they would assault you.
There's
You
a lot of violence with
Before
this
you even
whole
think of
police
calling
thing.
anybody, calling your lawyer, calling
Yeah.
they would assault you and just leave you there. So citizens are scared.
And
May
you-
God protect our young men, really, because like I
Amen.
said, they go after a certain kind of people. I know that yes, we have these internet fraudsters everywhere, but not every young man who is walking on the street, not every young man who has a tattoo is an internet fraudster.
Exactly. Like you should have concrete
So
evidence. before
tomorrow
doing
now,
anything.
if I say I like to pierce my ear and I decide to pierce my ear,
And then do
Of
some
these
dreads
dreads.
and okay, they'll come after you.
then that's not harassing me.
Everybody
It's not
cannot
in-
dress the same, you know.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Really. It's really sad.
So let's move on to the next trend. Hashtag BBL. So a lady used.
I think we should just go through the trends quickly.
Okay, yeah, this is the last trend
Okay.
actually. A lady used 1 million naira given to her by her boyfriend to do BBL.
Mm.
So we'll watch a video so we could see her panicking and grumbling.
Panicking. What was she panicking?
Like she was in pain. It's like yeah.
Oh,
So
No pain, no gain.
her boyfriend gave her 1 million naira. She said she wants to start a business with it.
okay.
Then only to find out that she went to do BBL.
BBL
But
is
according to
business.
her,
Mhm.
okay.
I'm not sure she specified what business she wanted
She
to
did
do.
it for our clients.
Yeah, exactly.
But according to her, she said she didn't do BBL, she did correctional surgery. That's why I wanted us to like watch the video. So she already had the butt,
Mm.
but she did correctional surgery. Probably her butt was not in the right shape or something.
Okay, let's see.
So can we quickly watch?
The money go do nyash. Say na is there anything like correction? Which one was correctional? So what
How
did you
is
use
all
the money
of
for?
them?
1 million naira to do correctional surgery.
How much do you use that of it?
Wait, this stuff don dey comot pause.
Yes, now. One side.
This nyash don swell up.
Yes, now it's increasing day by day.
But did she really do?
She, now thank God say you don't come. Now.
Extra 100K after the whole thing. Like, okay, what's the problem? Only for him to come to the house and find out that this is what she did. So sad. So what do you have to say? It's I mean, girls are really doing things.
Reminds me of a clip I watched. The HR of a company, they called the lady, say, HR wants to see you. You went to use company's HMO to do BBL.
What?
The company did free HMO. You as a lady, I went to guys company this day, so a company will pay for you. That's what we're saying here.
Man, it's
Somebody gave
crazy.
you money for business. But what do you expect? The way society is now, have you seen so-called realtors that want to sell property? So I see a caption that they want to sell a house. I click on the video. The first thing that they are zooming out is the backside of the lady. I'm like, what are you selling? Is it this house? And you're like, come follow me, follow me. And the person, what are you? Is it the house you are selling or you are selling something else?
That's by the side when you buy the house.
Oh,
that as
I get it.
as
So
bonus.
maybe she probably needs this to in her business. We don't know. She might be working in a club or something. We don't know, but it's terrible. And the truth is, I think it's just like last week we were talking about the girl child.
Yeah.
We need to work on the esteem of ladies, the girl child, and it starts from the home. The way the parenting goes. Like, your worth is not in your butt or your boobs or your shape
Face.
or your face. Like, come on. And people just get away. They just like, I think ladies need to find a mantra. They have to build their self-esteem because guys, we say, have you heard guys say man not define how money they get.
Yeah, financial
Yes.
beauty.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's
But even that is wrong because that is what is pushing
yes,
young
that's
men
another
to
that's
go
another
into
pressure.
ritual, to
Yes,
kidnap
rituals
and
and
all
all
that.
that.
So I'm just saying that the idea is that you have to be comfortable in your skin. And the truth is, the way God created life is that, see, no matter how you look, you are somebody's spec.
Yeah.
That's the truth. No matter whether you think you are petite or you think you are huge or you think you are round or you think you are straight, you are somebody's spec. You see, men, so there's always, see, men, some majorly said, men don't have spec. Have you seen a man that will marry a shapy lady and the lady is cheating with outside, it's just one? And like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
So just be comfortable in your skin.
For me, I support if the young man decides to break up with the girl, I would support him 100%. I think our society will begin to lose our value, and ladies these days, yes, I when you asked me my take on it, I was like, how do I go about this? They'll tell you it's their body. They have a right to do whatever they want to do with their body. That's why I said our society we've lost our values, and we're focusing on the wrong things. What we ought to focus on, we're not focusing on it. We're focusing on the wrong things. Men are focusing on how to get more money. They don't care how they get the money, but they feel that when they get the money, that's when they get the woman. If you have to have so much money, if you have to commit crime to get money to please a woman, then that's not the woman for you.
Yeah.
If you have, as a woman, if you have to put on makeup, if you have to go enhance your body to attract a man, then that's not the man for you. So we are losing focus of the things that we should really be focusing on, and using the money that your man gave to you. If she used that own money, I'll say, okay, we don't have the right to talk about it because it's her body and it's her money. But then your man gave you money to start a business. And you used it for that. If that's my brother, I'll tell him to break up with that girl. Really.
I'll arrest you.
No, you can't arrest her.
I'll arrest you.
You can't
for
arrest her.
fraud.
No, you can't arrest her, but he should not encourage it at all. Unfortunately, there's nothing she can do. She's done it already.
Yeah.
And I'm worried. We've heard cases of women dying while going through such procedures.
Yeah.
But it's like girls don't care anymore. Women don't care anymore.
No pain, no gain.
I just
Yeah,
feel
women
it's
don't
the
care anymore.
pressure.
Even married men
pressure
lie
among
to their
girls.
husbands. You know, we've had stories like that.
Yeah.
Married women lie to their husbands. They're traveling to just go on a vacation and they go there and they do tummy talk and all of that. Your body doesn't define you.
One came out. It was not, how they call it? Is he Holy Spirit told her to do BBL, like a Christian BBL?
Your body doesn't define you. And the more we talk, the more we educate people, the more we go against it, the more they go to do it. So men should do better to let their women know that it's not all about their body, that is about the soul that they have, the heart they have, the brain they have, and they love their body. Learn to compliment your women, learn to appreciate them, because I feel it is low esteem that pushes some of them to do it. Others is because they want to get more clients. So it's not about low self-esteem. They want more clients. They're not doing it for one particular person. But it's a terrible way of living.
As a man, I'm thinking of I don't unnatural things. They are unnatural now. So
Sometimes you wouldn't
No,
know.
there are so many
Sometimes
men
you
that
wouldn't know
actually
now.
encourages
Yeah.
that. So there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure in the world today. And when you see so many ladies sitting down, most of the things they talk about are these things. I don't have an issue when you go to do BBA or whatever it's your body, whatever you want to do. But in this case, you cannot use 1 million naira to do BBA. Let's start with that. Like if you really want to
it's
do
low
it.
budget.
No, that's low budget BBA. So
But
and she
like
said
you
correctional
that's
surgery.
correction, that's
So
not,
like I don't understand correctional surgery and
For
you,
your
like
butt.
right
You're
now
telling
she's
God
in
that
so much
you
pain.
didn't create me well.
That's what I want to ask. Did the bot have accidents and they're correcting it?
And they should really think of old age. I think our youth these days, just the same way guys going to rituals and they tell you live for only 10 years, they don't care. So ladies should think about old age. How would you look like in old age? How would your health be like when you get old?
Yeah.
They should think about that, but I don't think they care anymore.
Okay. Thank you so much. So this brings us to the end of today's X Trend. It's every Friday. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Patience.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed every session with you guys.
I did, although the trends this week was they were annoying, really annoying. But it's the trend. It's what was
Yeah, it's
trending,
what's
what's happening in the country, so we
yeah.
can't do anything to change it. So next week Friday we'll see you, and hopefully the updates, the trends next week will be better.
Yeah, hope so.
Thank you so much, Patience.
Thank
All right,
you.
so we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Safety Corner. Please stay with us. 15th October 2024, we celebrated the World Global Hand Washing Day. And on the 16th of October, which was on Wednesday this week, it was World Food Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to raise awareness about hunger in the world. And the theme for this year was Right to Food for a Better Life and a Better Future. So we have two trainers from the Nigerian Red Cross that will talk to us about food safety and talk to us about hand washing. We have trainer Felix Ore, Disaster Management Officer, Nigerian Red Cross Society, Delta State Branch. Good morning, Trainer Felix.
Good morning, Deltans.
And we also have Trainer Joseph Odwe, Health and Care Officer, Nigerian Red Cross Society, Delta State Branch. Good morning,
Good
Trainer
morning.
Joseph.
Good morning, Deltans.
So,
Good
Trainer
morning,
Felix.
welcome.
Good morning.
Trainer Felix will be talking to us about food safety, and Trainer Joseph will be talking to us about hand washing. I'll start with Trainer Felix. Why is it important for us to talk about food safety? Why is food safety considered a serious public health concern?
First and foremost, food safety or food security brings a lot of consciousness to people because food provides nutrition for us and then guarantees healthy lifestyle. Where there is no food, there is a lot of sicknesses, there's a lot of diseases, there will be low input in the community, and the economy will be affected. Food also provides economic triggers. Some countries in the world, some states in the world do not have crude oil, do not have gold, do not have diamonds or other solid minerals, but they produce food, and that is what sustains them. In fact, food gives the largest industry in the world. So it's a trigger for economic boost. It's a support to human existence. Without food, there is no existence. And in fact, food remains the number 3 basic needs. Number 3 human basic need. After oxygen, water, it's food. So food is very, very important. It's a basic necessity. It's a human right. It's a fundamental human right for everybody living.
Trainer, alright, still with you. So tell us, what is food security in itself?
Now, when we talk about food security, we are looking about a situation where food is available, where people have food present in their tables, present in their house, where people are able to take 3 square meals. Food security talks about your ability to be able to get food, to be able to access food economically or otherwise. So when we talk about food security, we are talking about availability of food for every human being that is within the surface of the earth.
Okay. I think that was the theme for this year, Right to Food for a Better Life and a Better Future. So this theme focused on accessing food and how food can, get to people across the world. What did the Red Cross do this year? How did you mark that day? And how can food be accessible to people, really?
Now, actually, there is a lot of hunger in the land. There is hunger crisis currently going on. And this hunger crisis is influenced by a lot of factors. And these factors are what the Red Cross is looking at.
Okay.
The Red Cross is looking at these factors. What are the factors that are triggering this food crisis, this food insecurity? We are looking at economic inflation. We are looking at flooding. We are looking at climate change. We are looking at low value of our currency. We are looking at poverty. All these issues are issues that the Red Cross is looking at. And then we are looking at one of the pillars of the World Food Day is to call on the attention of the government and corporate bodies, including private individuals, to see that people get food to eat because it is their fundamental right. It is their basic needs. So as part of the activities lined up this year for the Red Cross, we did a sensitization on the provision of food, on the awareness campaign against hunger crisis, and then we did, for instance, this is a program going on now. This is a sensitization program in collaboration with Delta Broadcasting Service, trying to bring to the consciousness of the government what is happening, that people are really, really hungry. So we do sensitization, we dispatch food, we ensure that people get minimum food basket, minimum food support, and the program is still currently ongoing. Today you will see that we have a lot of people who don't eat out before. They now eat anywhere they see.
Yes.
Anywhere, they tell you, anywhere you see food now, shop, or if not,
That's what our leaders told us.
you don't know where
Anywhere you see food,
where the next meal is coming from. You don't know where the next meal is coming from. If you go to parties these days, you see that a lot of people are struggling for food, both the rich and the poor. Everybody is struggling for food because of the economic crisis, because of the level of inflation, because of the flooding. Yesterday at Okoanala, where flood has totally submerged the community, you could see people doing premature harvesting. And this is definitely going to increase the food crisis, the food insecurity that we have in the land. So the Red Cross is sensitizing people, trying to, like in the agricultural sector, we are trying to sensitize them on the seeds to plant. Those seeds that won't last long before the flood comes, they harvest, and then they should take to the market to sell, save their money, so that when this comes, when this disaster comes, they will be able to get food from the market.
Okay.
So there are a lot of activities going on.
Okay, so let's come to you, trainer Odwe.
Okay.
Hand washing. Now, I see the synchronization in both of them, because I grew up in a home where once you even enter the house, my parents will tell you, go and wash your hands before you do anything, let alone before you eat. So, what is the significance of hand washing there? Because someone that didn't grow up in a family like mine will be wondering, why should I wash my hand? They just get to a point that you can't do. What's the significance of hand washing? Even in the workplace.
Okay, let me start this way. Health is safe as well. So if you don't have a good health, if you have a failing health, an ailing health, definitely you're going to be dependent. That's just how it is. And we have recognized the fact that over 80% of infectious diseases that we encounter and then suffer are usually from simple practices that you can adopt and then curb the spread, keep them at bay, and then keep yourself protected, your family protected. And that's why we encourage hand washing. The theme for this year is why are clean hands still important? All thanks to COVID-19, everybody knew how to wash their hands. The awareness was there. People started washing their hands. You could see hand washing systems, the local ones, the very sophisticated ones, mounted everywhere. Now, as COVID-19 favored the way, we now live with it. We now know that, okay, let's say the death tolls has dropped compared to what it was back then when you see people dying and it's televised everywhere, CNN, Al Jazeera. Now, we don't see those things anymore. And now people don't even know that they still need to keep washing their hands. It should be a daily routine. You wake up in the morning, before you want to go out, if you haven't had your bath, before you want to eat, wash your hands. Before you enter into your daily activities, wash your hands. You want to go to the toilet, you are out, wash your hands. You pick your nose, wash your hands. You sneeze, you cough, anything that makes you feel that you can predispose someone else to contact an infection, you wash your hands. When you go out there to the marketplaces, how many of those persons who sell those things that you eat wash their hands? The ones who sell the meat, the ones who sell the rice, the ones who sell different things that you buy from them. How many of them wash their hands? You go to the toilet, you use the toilet, you come out, you don't wash your hands. All of those things are very important, because if you don't take them seriously, I can bet you, you will not know when you're going to predispose yourself to getting an infection. Before you know it, you go to the hospital, you keep spending money. And let's not forget the fact that our healthcare system is not so very uptight now.
Okay.
And if you just go to the hospital, only God knows what is going to happen there.
All right. Talk to us about some of the mistakes people make while washing their hands, and what is the importance of using soap and water versus using hand sanitizers in keeping your hands clean?
Okay, primarily, if you want to keep your hands clean and prevent the spread of infection or even getting contact and infected in the first place, it is important that you normalize the use of soap and running water.
Okay.
Now, the use of hand sanitizer should come in secondary when you don't have availability of soap and water. So basically, when you want to wash your hands, it is customary that you have to wet your hands first. So when you wet your hands first before you apply the soap, and then you make sure you apply the normal standard hand washing techniques. All of them are meant to make sure that all of the germs, dirt that are stuck in your hands, you wash them out. And then after washing, you also ensure that you use the water to rinse your hand. Now, the water should be in such a way that it is coming from a source and going down the drain. You can have a tap running. If you don't have a tap running, you can take a scoop and then you scoop the water, or have someone use the scoop for you and then pour the water on your hands while washing. So that once you are done washing, normally the scoop is used to pour the water on your hands and then it will rinse off all the dirt and then your hands are clean. Now, some persons have this practice of washing their hands and then they don't wash off all the soap in their hands. And so you find that after washing, they still have some soap in their hands. Now, you need to understand that those soaps in your hand are also stuck with some of the dirt. That's why you need to rinse your hands very well and rinse off everything. Now, after rinsing off, you can either air dry or you can use a clean piece of cloth towel to dry your hands, and that's the safest way to keep your hands clean.
Okay, trainer, alright. So there is something here that is according to good. It says that on food security, around 733 million people are facing hunger in the world due to repeated weather shocks, conflicts, economic downturns, inequality, and pandemic. And they also stated that the right to food means that food must be adequate, available, and accessible to all. It is a legally binding human right in international law. So, what role does the government have to play? Because it also states that conflict and violence are still the primary causes of hunger. So, when you consider these factors, what role does the government of a nation have to play in food security?
Okay. First and foremost, we just need to state it clear that the Red Cross is a non-governmental organization. However, policies on government policies influences the life of the people. Economically, it is the responsibility of the government to make policies that will ensure adequate financial strength for families, because it is when families have adequate financial strength that they will be able to provide nutritious meals for themselves and for everyone within the family. Aside that, conflict, flooding, disasters or what have you, there is need for adequate disaster preparedness, adequate disaster management. For instance, if we know that the flooding will come every year, and this is the particular time from August to November, we will experience flooding, where the farms will be submerged, where the agricultural produce will be damaged by the flooding. There is need for us to put in place mechanism that will ensure that farmers know what to plant, when to harvest, and those seeds that are able to produce good food, good and adequate food before the flooding comes, so that they don't meet this period. And again, there's need for us to ensure accessibility to farmlands, accessibility to farm where food produce will be able to come out from the market, and then adequate markets. People will be able to sell, people will be able to buy. In all, we see that the government has a lot of role to play, but individuals too also have a lot of role to play. Conflict also limits the availability of food, which we provide create rooms for food insecurity. Like for instance, the conflict in some part of the country has limited the time that farmers goes to the farm.
Okay.
This has an impact on the economy. It has an impact on the life of the people, on the health of the people, because it is a man who is well fed that will be able to live strong and then produce well. So government policies will go a long way to determine how people will fed. Today, I must say, we must say that today people are more hungry than ever.
Yes, we know that, and you've talked about what the government can do, but I want you to speak to the people. Is there anything that we can do as individuals to ensure food security in this period where we see that a lot is going on? Is there anything that we as a people can do to ensure food availability?
You know, when we are told that try as much as you can to farm, you see people say, "I won't go to farm. I want a farm. Where I want a starter." You don't need to farm 50 acres of land All you just need to do, have some little vegetables behind you. Have some a poultry where you have like 20, 30 birds beside you. You can go into fish farming. All these little things you can get these seasonal crops. You plant them. They help to do what? To reduce your expenses. They help to reduce your expenses. And the more you farm, the better for you and your family, because you have fresh foods to eat. Don't forget that food is anything consumed that provides nutritious value for human and guarantees existence. So we should try as much as we can to farm and then save for the rainy day.
All right, Trainer Joseph, how did the Red Cross Society mark the Global Hand Washing Day on the 15th of October?
Okay, so basically we started with sensitizing public places, public groups, communities, institutions. By institutions, we focused it down to learning institutions, the primary, the secondary, and then the tertiary. We also went to healthcare facilities. As I'm speaking to you now, a lot of our volunteers are out there in schools. They were there as early as 7 a.m. this morning, just to make sure that they meet the schools during the assembly period, because that's the best time you can meet them, sensitize the people about the importance of global hand washing, the whys, the hows, and then the whens of how you have to wash your hands. And then ensure that they are not just told the information, but they also take it and then become ambassadors and tell it to other persons who we may not be able to meet. So like I said, we've gone to schools, we're going to healthcare facilities, mosques, churches, and down to the community level, where we tell them the importance of washing their hands, and that if they do not wash their hands, it is going to increase the rate at which disease will spread from one person to another, and then from one place to another. So we also are thankful to DBS, because through this medium we are reaching out to more persons, those persons who we cannot go to meet at their places of work, their places of abode. We are reaching out to them. So if you're listening today and if you're watching us, ensure that you keep washing your hands and make sure you do not keep information to yourself. Share it with your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, your family. Everybody needs to wash their hand, because if you wash your hands and yours is clean and another person doesn't wash their hand, nobody is safe. We are all still at risk of getting infections, because infection pathway will keep going on. It will keep being promoted. That's why everybody needs to wash their hand and ensure we have a very healthy environment.
All right, thank you so much, Trainer Felix Ore and Trainer Joseph Odwe. I wish we could go on and on, but then we have to stop here for today. You've heard it from Trainer Felix. Please, if you can, do well to start farming. Start with the little that you have and make sure that you save for the rainy day. I'm also calling on the government to come up with policies that will ensure that the citizens have food and they have access to food. And Trainer Joseph has advised us to wash our hands at all times, because it will prevent illnesses, it will prevent most of these diseases that we deal with. So learn to wash your hands. Is there something you want to add quickly?
Said they were also distributing hand washing buckets.
Oh, you're distributing hand washing buckets?
Yes, to schools.
To schools.
Just to encourage them to keep washing their hands.
Okay, I thought you were just distributing to people. I wanted to ask for mine, but that's fine. We'll see you again. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure, yeah. It's nice being part of the DBS family, and I will say thanks very much for your wonderful support towards humanity and to the nation, most especially the Delta State.
Thank you so much. And that's it on Safety Corner this morning. When we come back, it will be time for newspaper headlines with our analyst, Comrade Abel Jumbo. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. It is time for us to go through our different newspapers this morning and find out what is making the headlines. We have with us in the studio Comrade Abel John Gold. He is our newspaper analyst this morning and he'll be reviewing the papers with us. Good morning, Comrade Abel John Gold, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Blessing. Good morning, Gaga. Good morning, viewers at home.
Charity, they say, begins at home, so let's start with the Pointer newspaper. The Pointer newspaper, the major headline here says, Okwama killings, court adjoins 2 billion naira suit against Nigerian army. That's the major headline here from the Pointer newspaper. At the top strip, we have poor nutrition. Nigeria records 3 million stunted children. This is coming from the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. So let's just get your take on this. The major headline, Okwama killings, court adjoins 2 billion naira suit against Nigerian army.
Not because I'm a Deltan.
Yeah.
I would like to appeal, no matter what, to the courts that they should expedite action or judgment on this Okwama killing, because the army did not treat these people well. No matter what happened, that because of some of your persons were killed, you level a whole village, ransack a whole village, turn everywhere to dust. On humanitarian angle, you will see that is very, very bad from the Nigerian army. It's unexpected of them. They are professionals. Why are you taking arms against innocent people? Look for those people that committed those innocent crimes and deal with those persons. Instead, you ransack a whole village, a whole community, kill innocent people, animals, crops and animals, no life to live there. They were expected to go to dinner. 2 billion is even too small.
It is, yes.
And the federal government have done nothing to date. All we hear is IDP kickback, IDP for them. If those their family are for that, will they do that? So the court should have action fast.
Okay.
They should see judgment.
All right, let's move to the next paper, which is The Guardian. And the big story here is hashtag NSAS protest at 4. A specter of abuses, bad leadership still haunting 4 years after. So there's a photo speak here showing the judiciary, a lady holding the sword and the scale, and we have the panel recommendations, NSAS, and bad governance in form of books that are covered in words. And the last one I've taken from The Guardian.
And there's a big hand. There's a big hand there indicating.
Holding the judiciary.
Pinning it
getting
down.
to the recommendations and all of that. So it says a lot. And that's, it has the coat of arms on it.
And color green and white.
Yeah, so is that really the picture of Nigeria? So,
the federal government, really.
Then before you respond to that, I also take it so you take both simultaneously. 129 million Nigerians living below poverty line, says World Bank. So let's talk about our judicial system and let's talk about
the judicial system. Normally, the three arms of government are supposed to be working separately but together. Thank you. But there's no checks and balances in this government. It is part there that separation of power. The executive has their power, the judiciary has their. But you notice that none of them, especially the executive, the judiciary and the legislature, there's no independence there. They are just independent by math, but not independent. Can you tell me that can the Speaker of Delta State, can he challenge the Governor of Delta State? Can Akpabio challenge Tinubu?
Akpabio that will wear Tinubu's kind of cap.
So now, how are you not expecting the judiciary that will also be paid? Recently, you hear about how people, governors and presidents buying jeeps for judges. Why you are the one paying the paper? You are going to dictate the tune. So until we have a real independent judiciary, the judiciary is rot. Every is rotten. I beg both to say that the rot in the judiciary. Have you witnessed a electoral tribunal and see what happened? I heard of somebody who confided in someone that she bribed to go to a particular state, to be posted for tribunal case to go to a particular state, and that what concerns me now, my state, it let me they kill themselves. So the judiciary is not independent. There's no way if you get it's supposed to be the last hope of the common man. But when you go there, the process is even the process, the legal process, you get frustrated. Some people die before they even get judgment. You see that this 2 billion judgment, before they even get judgment, some of the persons ought to be beneficiary would have died by then, because some of them are sick now, nowhere to put their head. Where would they stay till you give judgment? What are you adjoining?
Okay, let's look at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The major headline from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper says federal government reforms get knocks, kudos, as World Bank releases report. The riders, reversing reforms will hurt economy, says the World Bank. Reforms not working, says Bauchi governor. We've been discussing how to stay on course. This is coming from the finance minister. FX unification encourages exports, says CBN governor. 12 million more Nigerians to join labor market by 2034. So let's look at the federal government reforms.
For
The World Bank is here saying if
for
they
the
reverse
last one, I disagree, but for the reforms, I think I'm in line with the federal government, because I've been following the process and I've been saying, but when you talk, some person will see you maybe as a defender of the government. Bala Mohammed has been minister for FCT. She has been in government for years, from Jonathan till now. He should give us solution to curb this problem if we feel that the reforms are not going to work. These reforms are like the normal language you'll be speaking as a pregnant woman that just wait for delivery. Yeah. If you look at them very well, without this reform, after the time President Bola Ahmed took over, we were using 97% of our earnings to service subsidies. 97.5% to subsidy, leaving the remaining one, which is not even enough to pay salary, which was the same cry Okojewala cried in 2012, 12 years ago, when she begged that we should remove subsidy. And we did not heed to that advice. When Jonathan did it, we fought Jonathan, thinking it was against something. Meanwhile, Jonathan wanted to help us. And this is that situation that we are today. And until we just take both actions to do all these things, we will still remain in the dark. We will still remain in the dark and be in what you call it, insolvent. We won't be able to pay our debt.
So you're certain that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that these reforms will work.
Proper light. We just have to get used to it. We just need to get used to it. And the federal government should also do their part. I know that the government will do their part. The government is not going to pay me 70,000 as minimum wage. They are not. You know, the governors, they have this cabal of holding president to ransom. The president was forced to accept this 70,000 naira. Look at what happened in Lagos State. You will not tell me that Lagos State governor approved 85,000 without the cost of the governor, of the president. And that's showing that by January, you will receive 100,000. Which was where the president actually appealed to, but this cabal refused.
Comrade Abel Jogon, how long should we wait for these reforms to start showing positive results? Because you are setting out that reforms will work. How long should we wait?
When you plant, it will always take time to grow. I still believe that in the next 2-3 years, we will start benefiting some of all this reform.
Okay, we'll move on to the next paper.
Okay, next is the Vanguard newspaper, taking a couple of the stories from the previous days, but we'll take this one. Hardship fueling voter apathy, political parties war. And Jonathan from the top strip, political motivated court judgments threatening our democracy. So let's look at, do you think that this is a good reason for voter apathy, the hardship? Do you think it's really a reason?
Yes, because some of them are hungry. They go to vote. Why are we going there to vote for? When the same result will still come, and they're hungry, nothing comes out. So there's always apathy there that I can't go vote, Jerry. What am I going to do? You want to be voting, and my vote will be counting. That's another challenge. That is another thing that leading to voter apathy. If you look at the 2023 presidential election, you will notice that people actually came out, turned out to vote. And you will not notice it because you will see compare the result with the former results. That result was what do they call it? This biomedic candidate. They used it in that particular. That was the first time we got results in Nigeria for a very long time now. In the past, they write result, but that one result writing became minimal. Other things they fled, so that was why you had that result. The highest vote that people actually came out to vote was that 2023 presidential election. But if you look at the governor it did not turn out the way it was expected in some places, because some places were disappointed.
Okay.
Some places, the result we were expecting, they did not get it. So now we will not hinder them to come out to vote for the governor's own. That was why you saw that the governor's result did not look at the result. But the place whereby money did not motivate people to vote, and maybe like where the governors are also performing poorly, the voter party will always be there.
So what do you think about what Jonathan said, former President Jonathan, politically motivated court judgments?
Yes, we've thought about the judiciary before. Most of the court judge of the judges, they always temper with the real judgment. Some of the self judgment, they don't give you what you are expected to see. They don't give the real judgment to people's opinion. Are you getting? I'm not a judge, but I've observed that they will use technical reasons to quash a legal case. The case that you feel this is a genuine case, so okay, yeah, the case is genuine, but technically you fail to fight this case as a so time or so reason, or you did not add these persons. You understand me? Legalizing illegality in the name of giving judgment.
Okay, let's now talk about the security agents. The Daily Trust newspaper has this major headline: Security agents supplying arms to terrorists, bandits, says NSA. The Riders says weapons used by criminals belong to federal government. Experts want culprits arrested, prosecuted. 2,400 obsolete, unserviceable illicit ammunition destroyed. That's on page 4.
100% good for no rebuttal. You need it. Look, listen, as educated as you are,
Yes.
if you are giving 500 million naira today, that this is your money,
Yes.
we should make you even easier than Tinubu. Because if it's your money, your intellect, everything will come out.
Yeah.
Which show. I don't think you know where to buy gun
Yes.
with your education.
To start asking questions.
So where do those bandits get that kind of money to buy those ammunition? Let alone know where to buy it. You know, one thing is knowing where to buy, other is knowing who to contact, the contractor and the contact, and now bringing out those money to buy those things.
Yeah.
Let's see. You are giving 500 million, you don't know where to buy guns. Don't deceive yourself.
So now that they know the security agencies are the ones supplying these guns, what are they doing really? We talked about security agents on X-Train, one of the first segments we had on Money Right, and it seems that our security agencies are not doing anything at all to remove the bad eggs from the police force or from other security agencies that we have. Because I made mention of how kidnappers now, some police officers are involved in kidnapping.
You know what cause your coordinates? When you are tracking something, the thing will track, you are tracking blessings. Yes, blessings in DBS.
Yeah.
Will not take you to this place. But DBS is also big. Where will you know where blessing is? Maybe where blessing is seated in one particular area. Inside the secret system, it is not all of them.
That's what I said.
It is not all of them, so it's not easy. And this is a cartel, it's a cabal. You also have Godfather at the National Assembly, the executive, the judiciaries. They have, it's a cartel. It's not just one thing. So this is ammunition that the federal government bought for this security agencies. That the security agencies on their own who have deals with those bandits, because those bandits are working for some person, quote unquote and unquote. Some persons at the top. Like I asked you, that you know where to buy guns. Those bandits know who they are working for. Those people also have influence. Some of those security agencies, possibly they were the one that gave them the job. Some of them they were the one that gave them that put them in that position they are occupying today. So in return, do what I want you to do.
Alright, so let's move.
You think if there's no bandit, you'll be kind of food shortage in this country?
Alright, because of time, let's move to the Daily Times, and the lead here says, at business firm in Sweden, Shetima woos investors to Nigeria's growing business climate. We have 3 riders, urges them to seize opportunities in nations, SMEs, agriculture, digital economy, others. Lower to invest $100 million, others commit to multi-million-dollar tech hubs, MSMEs, agriculture. Ericsson to build $19 million tech hub in Nigeria. Now, this is not the first time we're seeing foreign companies promising to invest and all of that. As a matter of fact, since this administration started, we're also seeing multinationals leave the country. So, is this something we should take with a pinch of salt, or we should be very hopeful? Is this I don't want to say is this a good one, but it's just premises right now. So, what do you think in general?
To me, it's a good one. My only appeal that I appeal to the vice president is when these foreign investors come, if they're able to come, They should not just settle in one particular area. They should spread themselves in the country. You know what I'm saying this? Guys, do you know that some of this egg you eat here, do you know where some of those eggs are coming from?
No.
Ibadan. If you doubt me, go and ask egg sellers. The egg you are eating, egg. Some of those catches you point and kill that you think you see people's fish pond, they are coming from Ibadan. Even all this edible food, I've even seen vegetable coming from Ogun State.
Why that?
You will doubt me. I'm telling you the truth, but I've seen. I've investigated. I've seen it. Just go and egg sellers, madam, talk to where this egg come from. Those poultry food
All
are
the way
eating.
from Ibadan.
I'm telling you the truth. Because they have these large farms there. Are you getting me? They supply you. I've even seen for women in the night going to Ogun State, Djibouti, to carry veg. I said, how come? Go early morning, just go to Onisha around 2 a.m. You will see them where they are landing.
Okay.
When they leave like 10 o'clock, bringing all those food that we know that is it perishable food from north. But those people, those farmers can easily settle here around different states and get closer to the people instead of that far. These are some of the shortage of the cost of food rise because of threatening it will be there. No, we have all the raw materials everywhere in this country.
Okay.
So the VP should look at that too. Don't just pack everybody in Kaduna, Kano, Ibadan, Lagos. Let them spread to other areas. There's nothing wrong if you have fish farm in Bayelsa or in Delta.
No, I'm surprised because we have farms here in Delta.
Yeah, those are not enough for us to feed.
Ubolu, if you go
They
to
are
Ubolu
not enough
market,
for you to
you
feed.
see vegetables and
Let
other-
me tell you something. Watch here like that. Ojo was the governor. It was the World Food Day. The commissioner for agri, they went to buy food from Uju market and went to exhibit it as the food they produce. And the governor yabbed them when he found out. Some governor was just quiet, pretend that they grow this food, but they not grow it. They bought them in market.
All right, it's okay. Those are the headlines that we'll be able to take this morning. Thank you so much, Comrade Abel Jumbo, for joining us and reviewing these headlines. Thank you for your time and your analysis. All right, as we wrap up Friday's edition of Morning Right, Rebecca, let's have your last words.
Well, it's a beautiful day, and hopefully it will be a beautiful weekend, ending from what the Vice President said, who is currently in Sweden. Just a call on the government to make the environment conducive, especially for small businesses, because if it's conducive for small businesses, then multinationals can come in and also do business and make living in Nigeria more comfortable for Nigerians. So it's Gaga, thanking you for your time and wishing you a beautiful weekend.
Just like Ogaga said when we started the show, please don't focus on the challenges alone. Learn to focus on the positive things around you. Do the much you can. Save, budget, and try to live in this period of time. Thank you so much for joining us this Friday morning on our flagship program, Morning Right. It's been a pleasure being on this set with you. We'll see you again next week, Friday. Have a wonderful weekend and goodbye for now.
It's hot. It's something new. It's Event 360. Are you a minister of the gospel, a school proprietor, a producer, corporate body, a financial institution, small and medium enterprise, NGO, or are you interested in owning a business of your own and running it successfully? Then join us on Event 360 every Sunday at 7 p.m. on Delta Television, Channels 25. Event 360 is designed to showcase your social events as well as to advertise your goods, services, and ideas from Monday to Friday, with presentation on Sunday at 7 p.m. For sponsorship, event coverage, and participation, please call Grace on 0806 974 8133. Event 360, a platform for all-round participation. Join us.
My people, una know say to chop plenty fruit and vegetable every time dey help person live long. You no go fit see anything when they give good nutrition when boku pass fruit and vegetable. Fruits and vegetables get plenty vitamins like vitamin A, B, C and E, and other minerals like magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, potassium, and folic acid. You see, food when contain vegetables and fruit, they help lower blood pressure, reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke, prevent some kind cancer, help lower cholesterol level and blood pressure, remove yamayama from your system, protect you from digestion wahala and high problem, come make your skin dey shine muke muke. E good to eat fruits and vegetables every day. And if you even get blender, you fit blend different fruit when you like together to make sweet drink when oyibo dey call smoothie. Now the Delta State Committee of Food and Nutrition and Delta State Ministry of Information now bring una this message.
That first news, that first kick, that first cry, and those first moments put baby to mother's breast right away. That first yellowish milk, colostrum, has the nutrients baby needs to grow healthy, strong, and sharp. Ask your health worker to take your baby to the breast within the first hour.
Start strong. Zero water exclusive breastfeeding for better future.
This message.
What happens when greed meets desperation?
Yeah.
How far would you go to get what you want?
Even my life is even on the line. So please, help me so that we can get out of this all.
How could you do this to me? A gripping movie inspired by a true life story.
Maybe you could consider other options.
You think I've not done that? Experience the twist, the betrayal, and the thrill that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Get ready for the movie. The Inside Enemy. The Inside Enemy dropping on Delta TV YouTube channel on November 1 at 9 p.m. prompt. Don't miss it.
It is a man or a woman's cultural heritage that defines him, that tells us something about his or her past, that reveals his understanding and his attitude towards life in the present.